Having you? Saturday morning. Just sitting in the conservatory at the minute, pondering as to what to get done today. Got a few bits to do. First of all, massive shout out to the bloke. Where am I? I'm over here. Who supplied that bag there? Bag of Shogun, JP did. Massive shout out to you, our kid. Skeggy Koi Pond. If you ain't used his website, get on there, get your stuff ordered from there. Mate, less than 48 hours it took for that bag to come from ordering for it to be on my doorstep. Less than 48 hours now. If that ain't cracking service, don't know what is. Bang on service, that is. So big thanks to Dash Shelton, Skeggy Koi Pond. If you ain't been on his website, get over there and have a look. He's got some cracking stuff on there, and he'll also do some deals as well. So yeah, so like I said, Saturday morning, we're in the conservatory. I have ventured up the garden once just to feed the fish. But behind me, you'll notice all that on the line. Some bags, so that tells you I've had some fish, and I'll split it in later on. Also, I am very good with this camera when it's on the front camera. Casts off, no cast. Happy days. Getting about better. Still got them pair of them things there, crutches. Still got them. So, bit of an hindrance. They do me head in. Dog's having a sniff about. But yeah, casts off. All the dressings are off. So, hopefully when I'm on the mend, I can put my foot to the floor. I can actually walk without the sticks, not very well, but there you go. Also, I'm back under the knife. Believe it or not, Monday. I'm back under the knife. My gaffer seems to think I'm turning into Caitlyn Jenner, or Jenner Caitlyn is, I don't know. He seems to think it's cosmetic surgery all the while, but what it's, I've got some cysts on my head, and I've already had 7 took off in the past, and I've got another 2 to get off now, so just in and out of the doctors, get them done. But yeah, big shout out once again, Skeggy, mate, fantastic service, go knock you for it, mate, go Fulcher. Be some more orders coming in as well soon off me, so keep your eye out for that. But yeah, what we've got a couple of jobs to do today, and I'll show you more when we get up the garden. But in the meantime, I'll flick back to you, and we'll see what we can get on with in a bit. So we've come from the house end up to the top end. Just give them a bit of food. Them up having something to eat at the minute. They've still got issues, should I say, but I'm looking better than ever. Bit of a rising temperature obviously doing them good, plus a couple of issues which I found out in the week, which is I'll spin you around and show you in a sec, but yeah, just document this up here for you first. I mean, they am looking a bit better than what they were. Don't know if you can see them from here because I'm up the top. I'm up having some fickle at the minute. I've also been asked, and I'll probably get it done today, is to document a bit on the Daphnia, because people are interested in how I do the Daphnia. I've got a couple of cultures going. Well, I've got more than 2. I've got 3 actually cultures going, and people are just interested as to how I do it. So I'll just run through that today as well. I've done it in the past. I've done a quick one in the past with it, but I'll run through it today. I'm just going to be in the back. Right, I'll spin you around and I'll show you what else I've done this week. So here's again, spot the difference, and you'll see it straight away. I would have thought. Drum filter's gone. Well, it's gone. It's here on the side. Took it out. I had a bit of an issue with it, with the float switch. I'm thinking it was the float switch. A couple of issues. So a friend of mine, Tony, got a float switch spare, so I put the new spare one in. Put it on with some waterproof crimps, and still had an issue. So then I had to sort of crawl around the back. And as you can imagine, with this bloody thing on my foot, it'd be hard. So I had to lie down up here and sort of work around on the back of the drum. So while I was doing that, and I know these are well known for it. If you have a quick look here, I had water ingress through the connectors. See it? That's supposed to all be shining. That is. So obviously there's water got into there, got into the wiring, one thing and another. So again, took that connector out. Done it with some waterproof crimps. Still wore having it. On the back of the socket, I've got a feeling that there's water on the back of the socket, which is on the back. I can't really get at it at the minute, otherwise I'll show you. But on the back of these drums, you've got basically a junction box. The water's obviously got in there, and I think on the back of the socket, which comes from the main control unit, there's water on that. So yeah, that is now up for sale, spares or repairs. Draco drum, drop-in drum. It's the Solum 16. So it's spares or repairs. I've still got to get the controller and everything out, it's still wired up in there. Also I've got to get a bit of a clean up, but if anybody's interested, that's up for sale. Get in touch with me either through Keep It Cool UK, you can message me on Facebook, which is probably the best way to do, because if you email me, it goes into my junk folders and I don't always see it. But yeah, but since taking the drum out and the easy's gone in, I'm pulling a lot more water through it. So I'm on a sort of that's running now steadily at 85% on the 20,000 on that pump there. Still going through the bead. I ain't took the bead off yet. And I've noticed this morning, you probably wouldn't see it on camera, but I'll have a quick look in a bit for you. My water clarity's gone up as well. Now I've just put the drum up for sale, and they say really a very good selling point for the drum, but I think it just needs a good jet wash, if I'm honest. But me being the way I've been and it playing up a little bit with that float switch and whatever else, it's like I said, spares or repairs. So if anybody needs a drum, it's an easy fix for somebody. But things are changing, like I said. So for the time being, it's running the Nexus with the Easy in, and I've got some more K1 soaking in PP to put in the Easy, because I ain't got enough in there at the minute, so I've just pinched it off the outer chamber. But yeah, things are going to change in here. I've got some work to do once this bloody foot's better. So also the bead's up for sale as well. Somebody did inquire. I told them to send me an email, which they never have. That's up for sale as well, full of K1 micro. That's all complete, obviously, with the blower and stuff. The blower's there. The blower's just over 12 months old. Pipework and fittings are going to come with it, obviously, but the matrix is with it. And the diverter valve and the bead, and the blower. So yeah, all that's up for sale as well. If anybody wants to grab that, otherwise it's going on marketplace as well. Drums up for sale, spares or repairs. And that also, if I can get it out in one, might also be up for sale very soon, within the next few months. So watch this space. But yeah, running on the Easy at the minute, and so far so good. I've even had to buy bloody one of them, cleaning pipe for the Nexus. I'll give the Easy away at one point, and then I begged it back again. I never got the cleaning pipe back, so I've had to buy another one. 12 quid. Really robbers for 12 quid for a 3-inch piece of pipe. So anyway, I'm rambling on, so there you go, that's where we stand at the minute. And that's how things are looking for me at the time being. So anybody's interested in the drum or in the bead, give us a shout and we can sort something out, no problem. In a bit. Might as well do this while I'm knocking about, aren't I? But here's one of the Daphnia cultures. Don't know if you've seen anything, to be honest. But this it's alive. This is alive not only with Daphnia but with mosquito larvae, freshwater shrimps, bloodworm, everything. And I'm going to be honest with you, the easiest way to set a culture up is get a tub like this. Now this tub's about 2 foot by 15 inches, that's all. About 15, 18 inches deep. That's all it is, just a loft holding tank. Set it up, fill it of water out the pond, stick your Daphnia in, get some leaves off a tree. Now I've got a tree, well there's a few, grows around here. But I've got one right outside the house there. Does me pig in your head in because all the sap goes over the caravan and cars. Get on full of them leaves, chuck them in, and let them get on with it. If you want to, which I do, to be fair, give them a bit of spirulina powder every now and again. And you'll find that these will just, they'll go mad. I don't even put no air in, don't touch them. I just don't touch them. This is what I would class as me, I don't know how you class it, my master culture if you like. This This is me starter culture. If I want to start anything off, this is it. It's like I said, it's absolutely alive, and all you've got in here is just rotting leaves. Look, rotting leaves. Now what you've got to imagine with Daphnia, everybody you'll find on the internet, everybody feeds them. Look at that on the back of my hand. And when you dip my hand in, bloody alive with stuff this is. You'll find on the internet people are saying, oh, you've got to feed them on yeast and you've got to do this, that and the other. No you way. Who feeds Daphnia and stuff on yeast in the wild? Nobody. Daphnia will live on the bacteria and the algae and everything else what's living in the water. So they're basically the filter feeders. They'll just swim around with the fins. The fins basically blow the food into the mouths and away they go. So Daphnia and filter feeders. And there's no need to be putting yeast in the water for the world. It'll send the water bad, send it bad ways. So you don't want to be doing that. Also, a few twigs in there as well. I think they feed on rotting wood. But yeah, whatever comes in that water, the Daphnia will feed on. And naturally, you'll get your bloodworm, you'll get your water shrimps, and you'll get your mosquito larvae, obviously. And just leave it alone. Just leave it be. I mean, the more that rots down, the more mature the tank gets. I've never had a crash. This tank's... How long's this tank now? I had Daphnia before this in a fish tank. Put that water out the fish tank into here. The rain obviously fills this up, so then I'll siphon it off through an air stone. And then it just looks after itself. You don't touch it, you don't aerate it. Well, I do. I don't aerate it, don't do nothing. I had a bigger tub, which was that grey tub I gave away last week. That was another one, was full of Daphnia as well. That used to sit down here. But I've got now the big blue, which is, that's absolutely alive. What I did, I set a pipe up to siphon out the big one I had up here, to siphon it down to the big blue one. And that's just, well, unbelievable. The phone don't really show it because you've got the reflections and stuff, and I've got no, I got one of them lenses. But if I put this phone underwater, you would see just how alive this tank is. I know it's a bit blurred, but it really is alive. See if I can just get it slightly underwater. I don't know if that's showing up. But yeah, it's all over. Fully alive with Daphnia and other stuff. Other stuff what I feed small fish. So if you're interested in fry, then this is the stuff you need to get going. You need to get a Daphnia culture. And just for the record, this one, that tank there is also alive with Daphnia and everything else and whatever else has fell in there. And that's been sitting there now with the same water in for about 2.5 years. I suppose that's my starter culture, if you like. But yeah, that's the same. Just a little fish tank, so you can do it that way. But all you've got to do is not take them out quicker than what they're breeding. I'll show you the big blue one. Have a look at that in a minute. And even in the big blue one, like I said last week, I've still got the fry what I took out the green tank in the big blue one. And they're thriving. And just do nothing but scoff all the while. They can't get enough down them. So I'll show you that in a sec. Oh, this one as well. I had water in that at one point with Daphnia in. That's just a big blue bowl, which is just general, well, it's supposed to be a male boat as a measuring bowl, but never bothered. So there you go. The Daphnia culture, piece of cake. I ain't gonna say the rest, but piece of cake. I wonder if I could show you in here. I know I'm rattling, but there you go, me fucking sticks again. Let's just take a quick scoop, see what I can show you. I don't know if y'all see this. You should do. Let's get it down here in the sun. See that lot? That's just a scoop down in the corner, that is. Now look at the amount of food in there for small fish. So if you've got fish around about anything from like 2 centimetres up, that's what you're after. That's the food you want for them. Daphnia, bloodworm, mosquito larvae of all sizes. That's what you're after, and that's just a scoop out of there. So my missus calls me sad. I did more research on this Daphnia than anything else. So I thought, if I'm going to have a go at spawning, I've got to feed them fish. And that's what you've got to think. People who buy fry off like Cuttlebrook, Adam Boyer or anything else, you're going to buy fry, you've got to feed them. And that's the hard bit. Then the next hard bit is keeping them clean. Because it's like you've heard people mention before, for small fish they can shit. Honestly, you wouldn't believe the amount of waste what comes off them. Because there's natural food going through them all the while. Now when you eat salad, as a human, you eat salad, and yeah, you know about it, don't you? You eat bread, and that clogs you up, which is like giving a pellet to a fish or giving them natural food. So that's my Daphnia culture, that's my starter culture if you like. But the big blue tank is probably as alive as this anyway. So this is my backup, and I used to use the black tubs as a backup. And there you go. Anybody want to buy a pair of crutches? Because I'm absolutely fucking sick of them. So right, let's move on. A couple of people have asked me just to have a look at the Daphnia and see how what we do. But it's like I said, water, handful of leaves. I mean, you can see grass. There's grass in there as well. Just anything. If I pick a piece of grass out of the or a weed out of the slabs and stuff, just throw it in here. Just rots down, and it just feeds everything what's in the tank. And as you can see, everything's thriving. And if I feel as though I'm sort of going low, I'll come up here with a little net, take a net full out. Whatever's in the net goes in the big blue tank and keeps them going. But yeah, there you go. Hope it's of interest to some people. If not, let me know. Or if you need anything else, put it in the comments and I'll see if I can help you out a little bit. But yeah, if you're having fry this year, this is the stuff you need to feed them. Catch you in a minute. I'll take this case off in a minute. I really wish these phones show you better. But again, this is alive, absolutely alive. There's more water here, which means there's more Daphnia, which means there's more life, which means it's got to be better. Now, here we go. One aquarium net on a bit of tube, just to make it easier. Watch this. One scoop, just round the edge. Gosh, yeah. I've got to be careful because I don't know if there's a fish in there. Like I said, I've got the fry in here, but there you go. And I mean, there's still tons in there, tons of it. It's nice and red as well, which means he's feeding well, he's healthy. Sometimes it'll go brown and you'll think, well, need feeding. But when it's red, it's nice and healthy. But yeah, this is alive, absolutely alive. And there you go, scoop through the middle, and there's 3 times more than what I've just had. That's just solid Daphnia there. There you go. But yeah, it's like I said, if you've got the room to do it, and well, I've only got a small garden, but all you need is like a 4-gallon holding tank. You can get them from Wickes or B&Q, and what they used to put in the loft for your eating and stuff. Get one of them, or even just one of these black tubs like I've got this PP in at the minute. One of them is ideal. And that's all you need, just a body of water for them. Nothing special at all. I'd put no air in. There's no air in this. And that's the Daphnia culture I've got. Now, while I'm on, I'll turn you around actually. But there, that's the Daphnia. I ain't doing no more because for a lot of people it can get boring. And for a lot of people it's interesting. But like I said, I've got about half a dozen fry in here and they're thriving. I don't know where they are. I'll just leave them to it. I'll wait till they're 2 or 3 centimetres long and then I'll get them out. Because then they'll be eating the big ones. But yeah, spin your hand. So, that's the Daphnia covered. We don't need to cover any more of that. Soon enough. Shift that pole out of the way. See me 2 metre aerial there. Anybody want to buy that as well? Or a radio for sale as well. I know my first day showed, but I am happy today, and the reason being I'm happy. The missus has given me the all clear to spawn. Getting the pool out today. We'll get that pool out today. We'll get it, put a water in it, and we'll get it covered up. Let the sun get it warmed up, and then I've got some, let's say, some new fish to spawn. I know I've still got the Karashigois and the Chagois, but before I do them, I've got some other fish to spawn. So I'm going to try and get them spawned off, because the one I'll show you in a sec what I've had. I'll also slice a video into this from last night when I received them, and I've got them in the bowl, so you'll see them better then. I'll show you what I've got. I'm swimming about in the small sleeper pond at the minute. Got a bit of an issue with the small tank as well, if I'm honest. These are sort of off the food. They ain't feeding like they should be. I've put some salt in. I don't know what it's up to at the minute. I've just put some in for now, and I'm waiting for the salt meter to come. I've ordered a new salt meter. When that comes, I'll test it. I'm going to get it up to about 0.6, I think, of salt, and just see what happens. Give them a dose of that, let them sit in that for a couple of 3 weeks. I'm hoping it tastes sleeping sickness, because listening to Ricky Stoddart, he did a video on sleeping sickness, and it seems to ring true as to what I'm seeing. You know, I put bigger fish in with the small ones, and they sort of clamped up and went pink and stuff. So maybe the sleeping sickness, that's why I put salt in there now. I can't put the heat up because I hate it. It's just not with these prices these days. So we'll see what happens. So hopefully the salt will help. So we'll leave them sitting in 0.6 for a couple of weeks, 6 or 7, whatever I'll get it up to. I don't know what's in there now. I'll put about bloody 8 kilos in there now, I think. But yeah, we'll see what happens. All in all, generally they look alright, but it's just I'm off the food a bit and they still look a bit pink. So I'm thinking they've been through 3 doses of Alpharex now, so that should have sorted any Costia or anything out. Certainly helped the big pond. So I'm just keeping an eye on them, keeping eager, and still a load of food floating about which I put in this morning. They ain't touching, and the temperature's at 16, so they should be feeding there. Let me spin you around again. I'll show you what I've got in the small pond, and I'll also slice in. I'll slice like having a gimbal. I'll slice in that video from last night as well, and you can see what's going on. See you in a sec. Right guys, I'm probably going to splice this into the weekend video, but it's Friday at the minute. New purchase. Not as I've paid for him yet. He's stood here waiting for the money, and I still ain't get it.
Cheap.
Not cheap enough.
Cheap and cheerful.
Nice big fat female shower there. I've got a feeling the Kawaku's female, but I asked one her over yet. Ginrin shower.
There must be a reason why I got them 12 big
and of course a smaller shower there, around about, I would say about 32, 35, something like that. The others around about knocking 50 to 55. They're going in the small pond, so I'll crack on. So here's a small pond now. You'd think that with Chagois and Karashigois in here, it's a beer friendly pond and that come up to you, but nah, quite the opposite. It's a bit skittish, to be fair. Here's one of my new ones, shower, Ginrin shower, around about 55 cm male. Here comes the other one, which is a Kawaku, around about the same sort of size, between 50 and 55. I believe, without turning that over as well, that's male. Just underneath it you'll see a smaller shower. I haven't turned that over, that's around about 30, 32, 35 cm. And then that's the bad boy over there I want to spawn, that female shower there. It's proper laden, it's like a barrel. There's around about 40 cm. That one I think is going to be the first one in the spawning bay when I get it set up today. With these other 2 males, I might put another shower in as well. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. They seem happy enough at the minute. They've come out, believe it or not, of a 450 gallon tank they've been kept in. So yeah, they've been here at the minute up until the problems sort themselves out in the main pond. So yeah, there you go. As I said, I'll splice the video in from last night, where I've got them in the bowl when I first took delivery of him, and we'll see what happens. I ain't sure what I'm doing with the Kawaku yet. might be moving that on. But the shower's definitely staying here and definitely getting spawned. I'll catch you in a bit. Right then, last couple of hours or so spent doing that, redoing that, should I say. Briefly showed you the framework before, but I had to take the white bars off the top and put them inside. Forgive the dodgy camera work. Shift me crutch. This let's just zoom out. This tarpaulin I've left doubled up, so you've got 2 layers. Again, still on the hinges. There's the framework. It's now blue water pipe and overflow pipe. It's quite tight really. It looks pretty slack, but it is quite tight. A couple of design flaws, but you know, it is what it is. It's DIY, unmed. I mean, this water is already at sort of 18 degrees anyway, so hoping to bring it up. So a couple of hours spent on that while I've been away from you. Looks more of an hoop. If you remember, the last one's the white water pipe kinked and everything went slack after a couple of days. So sorry, not the water pipe, the overflow pipe kinked, went slack after a couple of days. So I've used thicker water pipe now, the blue stuff, where I've got a roll sort of spare, so I've used that. But yeah, all in all, happy with that. Back to how it was. Even put myself an handle on now instead of a screw. So happy days. That's the last couple of hours spent. On to the next job. Never stops, does he? Knackered. Shit bags. I thought that was flashing a bit. This is out the small pond. This has come from the show and grow last week. So yeah, trouble is still outbreaks in the pond, so I can't do a lot yet. So it looks like a big water change and then we'll see where we are. Shit it. Well, I said that was off the food, but they're after having a bit of salt, they seem to be livening up. Temperatures rose by 1.5 degrees in here today since I put the cover on. So obviously the temperature's done them some good. Still waiting for the salt meter to come, so not knowing exactly what salt's in there at the minute. But things seem to be okay at the minute. So they've, it's just after 9 o'clock, they've just had a feed. These lot are having a feed, just having a feed as well. Oh, shoot me fat fingers. So these are just having their feed as well. Although I threw that in about 10 minutes ago, they've basically cleared most of it up. And the new fish, or should I say, I ought to really class this as the broodstock, because that's what I am, is broodstock. Alright fella. Male Ginrin. You gotta come and have a look, look. So a few fan flukes in here today. I treated yet because it's still a bit green with the outbreaks. Need to let that run out. I'm having a go. Spawning tanks that I've been set up. Because we've been down the range. Having a look at some new furniture. We day getting on, but I still spent £350 bought some new chairs for the caravan from the oldies. So looking forward to getting my arse on that with a few beers. That female scout is there. There, this one, that one there. They're getting spawned. But before I spawn her, before I do the showers, I'm going to do the Karachi boys with the Chagoys. I'm just going to put the lot in together and let them get on with it. Just as a Deutsch Karachi boy, which is over the back, that one. And then I've got the normal fully scaled Gratigoi, which is there, and then there's some chocolate chags in here. There is also a female chag which will be going in the mix. So it's a night time feed. So there you go. Right, I'm out tomorrow, so I might document what we're doing tomorrow. We're actually, the two clubs I'm in, the Mid-Staffs and the Birmingham club. Birmingham are visiting Mid-Staffs, so we'll see some ponds tomorrow. Starting off at the one what we did do the show and grow on. So we're starting off there, and then we'll see a couple of other ponds. But yeah, that UV's been on about 4 days, I think. And I'm already seeing the fish at 12 inches down. Yeah, I'm at least 12 inches down then. Right then, thanks for watching, guys. I'll close it here, and if I do any filming tomorrow, we'll do it on a separate video. In the meantime, once again, as I started the video off, big thanks to Skeggy as well again. Cool, thank that bloke enough, he did me an absolute favour with that food. And for getting it here within less than 48 hours, go knock that for service. If you're wondering who I'm on about, that's Shelton, Skeggy Koi Pond, skeggykoipond.com or maybe .co.uk, I can't remember now. But yeah, absolute top bloke, top service. Need anything for your pond, give him a shout. Many of hours spent rattling on the phone with him as well. So right, I'm going to let these finish off the supper, and I'll catch you later. Cheers, guys.